Yo, what's up, guys? This is bringing you your post-game analysis, but before I reevaluate the second half for St. John's and the whole game, I'm going to give a shout-out to Maddie and Luke. They did a great play-by-play and color commentary. Great job for that. But evaluating the second half, St. John's made a huge comeback in the second half. They outscored Quinnipiac 61-34 in the second half, shooting 36% from three-point range. Quinnipiac only shooting 15%. You could see that the tenacity for St. John's defense was there, and they were cooking. They knew they couldn't lose this game. They weren't going to lose to Quinnipiac. And I want to go through some moments that happened in the second half. Shout out to Savion Lewis. He was limping off the court around like the 8-minute half mark, and I just hope the best for him. And God bless him. I hope that he gets better from that injury. It looked pretty bad, and he was limping off the court. And I do want to say R.J. Lewis reminds me a lot of Josh Hart. He was getting a lot of rebounds in the second half. So got 9 rebounds. You can see all the hustle that he was providing for the St. John's team, and it was contagious because St. John's was not going to lose this game. They took all the hustle, took all their shots, and got a lot more confident in that second half. I wonder exactly what Rick Pitino said in the locker room during the end of the first half, but I would have loved to hear it. I wouldn't have liked to be in the locker room, but it would have been interesting to hear what he had to say. And St. John's did enforce getting rebounds in the second half as they out-rebounded Quinnipiac from 26 rebounds to 16. Only allowed Quinnipiac to get 16 rebounds off of this team has big size, so that's very impressive how St. John's was able to bounce back in that first half. It shows a lot of perseverance to be able to do that, and this St. John's team is going to be tough for this season. They are not going to go out, and they proved that through this big second half. If somebody was to just look at the first half, they wouldn't see too much. St. John's wasn't playing that well, but that's why there's always 2 halves in a basketball game for the team to turn it around, and the ultimate team is going to come out the victor. Throughout the first half compared to the second half, St. John's was shooting 12 for 33 in the first half. Compared in the second half, they shot 20 for 38. Sure looked like they were shooting a lot better. I wonder for Zuby LGO4 that it was kind of confusing to not see him have too many minutes in the second half. It's a little concerning, but hopefully he can get back up there and just get into practice, put in the work, because he did not get too many rebounds throughout the game. It's not like he only played 5 minutes in the second half. And then in the first half, he got, it was 14 minutes, but he only was able to get 1 rebound. Throughout the whole game, my player of the game is definitely going to be Brady Dunlap, as Luke Johnston said. Brady Dunlap was a victorious player, and he helped the team get this win, scoring 20 points, 6 for 8 from the field, 5 for 7 from three-point range, 3 for 3 from the free throw line, and 23 minutes of play. You could see that he was very confident in his stroke. He looked very confident on the court. There was nothing that was going to turn him away from helping St. John's win this basketball game. And even though Kadari Richmond didn't have too many points in this whole game, he played 30 minutes, you got to give him credit because he was versatile on defense. He did all the necessary things to help St. John's win this game, even though it may not show in the box score. He had 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and he looked very physical on defense. He was playing pressure on this Quinnipiac team. In the second half, Quinnipiac did not, they only shot 67% from the free throw line compared to St. John's 84%. Even though people may not think free throws are a big deal, but that could be the make or break for a game. St. John's showed that, and they were shooting a lot better. They turned it around. They weren't shooting that well from free throw range in like the beginning of the first half, but they ended up turning it around. And that's all that matters, because there's a lot of time in a bowl game to make the necessary adjustments to help win the game. And the big factor from this full game was the rebounds. St. John's ended up out-rebounding Quinnipiac 46 to 38 rebounds, And that was the whole big key factor for St. John's to win this game. They couldn't let all that size get into St. John's heads just thinking, oh, we're going to let them get the boards. No, they have to hustle, have to get them boards. It was very concerning in the first half of how St. John's played, but I'm very proud for the team to be able to come back in the second half and play a lot better throughout that whole game. And as for blocks go, St. John's had 10 blocks compared to Quinnipiac only having 4 blocks. St. John's was not going to let Quinnipiac get easy shots at the rim because this Quinnipiac team is not a great three-point shooting team, as they showed in their first game, even though Mabry was 5 for 9 in three-point territory. He had all his 5 three-pointers come in the first half. He did not score one single three-pointer in the second half. Shows a lot about the St. John's defense, and Rick Pitino had to be emphasizing defense in that locker room throughout after that first half. That had to be a big talk in that locker room because Rick Pitino was not going to let this team go out like that. He knows how much depth this team has, and this team showed it. They were not going to go out like that. On Davion Smith, it was a concern for him rebounding the ball because, he tried his best. He only had 5 rebounds, 31 minutes of play. Even though he's a guard, it just did not look that well from, getting matched up with the big players of Quinnipiac. But he did all he can do. He had 10 assists, which shows a lot in the chemistry that he's trying to evolve with his St. John's team and making everything happen and making the players around him better. Gives them more confidence and allows everybody to be involved. Really like that Rick Pitino is going to keep evolutionizing this team and developing this team as a whole to have new starters each game and give each player a chance because that's the right way to go about a system. You got to see how all the players are going to play through their full potential to see what's working and what's not working. And the only way to really show that is in a game because games are so much different than practices, and that's how it comes down. But Iwachu Uwoko, he played 14 minutes, but he got big rebounds for the St. John's team. 6 rebounds. He's not going to let Quinnipiac get them rebounds over him, and he was a big factor for all that rebounding. So that's what I want to say. And St. John's, another key factor was getting in transition, scoring fast break points. They did not score that many fast break points in the first half. They only scored 7 points in fast break points, and Quinnipiac actually outscored them 8 fast break points. So even though it was by 1 point, but then St. John's turned that around in the second half as they scored 27 fast break points. That's amazing. See, they were getting in transition, and they had all their heart with them. They were going to get in transition, score buckets, do everything that was necessary to get easy buckets at the rim and to come away with this victory. St. John's ends up winning this game 96-73. What a great game and a great show for the St. John's team. It's very inspiring how they came back in the second half. Shows a lot about this team. And they ended up having a larger lead time from the second half in 21 minutes of play compared to Quinnipiac with 16 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed this game. St. John's will go on to face Wagner on Wednesday, November 13th, and hopefully St. John's will prevail. This Quinnipiac team, though, is not a team to mess around with. I could see them doing pretty good this season, and they just need to take what they got from the second half and see the mistakes that they did as far as rebounding goes and having all that size. You just got to keep rebounding, keep the pressure going. They weren't able to do that against Rick Pitino and the St. John's Red Storm this game. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is WSJU Radio signing out.